We were going to talk about Dr. Michael Mosley's new diet book, The Fast 800 Keto.
You just put the word keto on the end.
So we're going to talk you through why there's some good points in here, but why there's a lot bad. But I'm going to start just by saying this. If his first diet book, which is only a year old, is so great, why does he need to revise it and come out with the keto one? Or is this just a case of jumping on the keto bandwagon?
Which I thought was kind of over.
To sell more copies. Yeah, it's a bit late to the party.
It's a bit late to the party,
anyway,
mate.
We'll present the evidence and let you, the jury, decide.
This is a shocker. So I've seen a couple of people talk about this, but James completely separately just shouted down at me on Sunday, I think it was, just saying, I can't believe this is a new diet that Michael Mosley's brought out. Take a look at this. Well, I did, and shocked, I tell you, because actually we really want you to listen to this to avoid these crazy fad diets and actually wrecking your metabolism.
We did. One of the claims I read in the Daily Mail, first of all, was like they were basically celebrating the fact that you could lose a stone in 21 days. That is far too rapid. No matter what size you're starting at, that is too fast a weight loss. We talk about this endlessly. If you lose weight very fast, you essentially will be losing a lot of muscle mass and crashing your metabolism, causing long-term damage to your system. It'll take you much longer to recover. But let's go into what's good about his new revised edition.
You're going to go into what's good?
I am. First up, he's basically recognised the importance of protein. So he's saying everyone should eat more protein, especially at midlife and beyond, to help preserve muscle mass.
This is true.
This is great. This is great news. Why is that? Well, as we know, protein stimulates the hormone leptin, which sends the I'm full signals, meaning you're less likely to overeat with other calories. Also helps preserve your muscle mass, which is naturally deteriorating as we age. He also advises us to cut back on processed carbs. Again, another thing we totally agree with. Most of us are eating just too many of the wrong type of carbohydrates. Your crisps, your cakes, your breads, stuff like that. And that's about all the good I can say, because now we're going to get to the bad.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, basically, I just want to say here, little note. This isn't a no-brainer, basically. We always say from field or sea to table in as few steps as possible. Just clean up your diet a little bit. So, more protein, don't eat so many processed foods. Tick, well done. Thank you so much for that expert advice there, Mr. Mosley.
Well, first up, he splits his diet into 3 stages. Stage 1 is your initial weight loss phase, where you eat no more than 900 calories a day. You should aim between 800 and 900 calories. That's where he got his 800 from in the title. This is far too low. Also, listen, as individuals, we all have a different calorie needs. Like a 16-stone rugby player built of muscle who is training like 3 or 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, is going to have a very different calorie need. They'll die on 800 calories a day. To someone who weighs 7 stone and is completely sedentary. So giving this arbitrary 8 to 900 is nonsense to start with. And that would in fact be far too low for maintenance for most people. I mean, yes. He also suggests you can stay on this for up to 12 weeks. Like 12 weeks at sub 900 calories.
It's actually a disgrace.
Your metabolism will be completely crashed out.
And correct me if I'm right, he was kind of saying this really helps with the midlife people as well. There was a lot about midlife, and I've seen lots on Instagram.
Yeah, so midlife women, one of the things they face is osteoporosis, weakening
you don't
bones.
want to do this.
Restricting your calories in this way is only going to exacerbate that problem. No matter if you are putting a protein in. Let's come back to that. He said that we should eat more protein. Yes, but he's saying that too much protein can be difficult for the body, so we should keep it to only 20 to 25% of your total diet, and that for him he considers high. Listen, if you're at sub 900 calories and you're only eating 20 to 25% protein, you are still going to massively lose muscle mass. Muscle is metabolically active, so your metabolism is going to come down. The weight you lose is going to be muscle weight as well as fat, which is the last thing you want.
You really don't want to be doing this. I mean, you don't want to be doing this at any time. You do not want to be doing this at midlife. The crash diets just play havoc with our bodies. It's shocking.
Next up, of course, he's gone for the keto tag here. So, of course, that means like reducing carbohydrates. Again, no more than 50 grams a day. So, again, listen, guys, less than 900 calories a day and only 50 grams of carbohydrates, you'll be hanging. You'll just feel permanently fatigue.
Well, you get the keto flu, you get aggressive, you won't be able to concentrate, you're going to get brain fog.
Our physiology is set up to run on carbohydrate. Energy is our preferred energy source. Our bodies use it for energy, our brains use it for energy. So, symptoms of not having enough carbohydrates in the body are like low energy, low mood, brain fog, confusion, trouble concentrating. All these you can expect if you spend 12 weeks eating below 50 grams of carbohydrates.
It's just shocking.
And less than 900 calories a day. It's actually really, really, really bad.
It's dangerous. It's really dangerous. I can't believe there's someone out there still peddling this sort of stuff. I'm sorry, I'm going to be really blunt. Really peddling this sort of stuff. It's dangerous. It's playing on the whole diet fad. It's playing on the quick fix, which never lasts. What is it? 97% of people that go on a diet put more weight back on.
I do feel the good doctor has jumped on a trend here with keto. He's learned about keto and jumped on it.
What, a bit late?
But then here, after stage 1, so you've done your 12 weeks at sub 900 calories. You can't get out of bed probably. Now you can go to stage 2, which is the 5-2 diet. So you basically spend 5 days a week only eating your 900 calories, less than 50 grams of carbohydrates. The other 2 days, fill your boots.
Well, this is why we don't like the 5-2.
To explain something about keto, you probably need to spend 48 hours avoiding carbohydrates to stay in a state of ketosis. So every 2 days when you blow out, you're going to knock yourself out of ketosis for at least another 2 days. So you're not actually staying in ketosis on this method.
Do you guys know that? Does anyone know that out here? Because I keep seeing all these, drink this keto drink and you're going to get yourself into ketosis straight away. Does anyone actually know? Do you want to explain what ketosis is?
Yeah, ketosis is when we haven't got enough glucose and glycogen for our energy, our body will start to produce something called ketones, which means we become adapted to burning more body fat for energy.
You want to drink a drink to get into that?
Here's a really important thing, just so we'll come back to the diet in a minute. But research shows us that over the long term, there is no significant difference in overall fat loss between a keto diet, a low-carb diet, and a standard calorie-controlled diet. So you might as well be enjoying the things you love in moderation, rather than depriving yourself of. Remember, if you're on keto, no bread, no cakes, no alcohol, no potatoes, no rice. It's a lifestyle choice, and it is very, very hard to maintain over the long term.
I always ask myself if that was a secondary way of giving us energy. Our first primary is carbohydrates and the glucose. Then it's going into body fat as our next fuel source, right? Why weren't we given that as a primary one? We're not supposed to be in it for very long. It was there as a secondary source of energy.
Second piece of research.
It was a secondary source of energy for a reason. It's not for you to stay in there because it's dangerous.
And a big study by the Lancet showed that low carbohydrate diets have a higher mortality risk than high carbohydrate diets. We already know how bad high carbohydrate diets are for us. So over the long term, low carbohydrate diets have a higher mortality risk.
Because you're not supposed to be in it.
If you're sticking at less than 900 calories a day, your mortality risk might be increased even more. But I don't know.
Talk about snacks. So you got here.
Well, this is the next thing. So this piece was all about
this is amazing.
the wonderful snacks you can eat. But before we go into the snacks, I just imagine if you're suddenly getting about 20% of your food from protein and 20% from carbohydrates, what might the other 60% be?
Fat.
Exactly. Now, here are some of the snacks that the good doctor recommends while you're doing his diet.
I can't believe this.
Blocks of cheddar cheese, high saturated fat, play havoc with your system. Chorizo, high saturated fat, processed meat, high salt. Bacon, again, processed meat, high salt.
But avoid all processed
fat.
food. But that's processed
this
food.
This diet is essentially a high fat, high salt, processed meat diet.
Basically the Atkins diet.
And I want to throw something else in there as well. Our gut health. Our gut biomes are responsible for like 90% of the neurotransmitters in our body, which directly affect mood. They need a lot of fibre and fresh food to function properly. If we're suddenly just chucking in processed meats and high salt, we're going to play havoc with our gut biomes and our mood. These are all reasons not to do it, but I want to finish with this amazing quote direct from Michael. My wife.
Is this from Michael?
My wife can always tell when I've flipped the metabolic switch and gone into ketosis. Because my breath starts to smell sweet, like nail polish remover. The sweet smell of nail polish remover as you go in for the snog. I'll leave it there. Take care. Avoid the fad diet.
God, that's amazing. Lots of love. Bye.